November the 12th, 2024. Guys, you're looking at the U.S. Navy model for coming up next few days. Let's check this out. It looks like we're going to have a pretty intense hurricane coming our way. Started today. Now look at it intensify there. It does a little loop, comes across the western tip of Cuba, comes across the Keys into South Florida. Check this out. Very powerful and very large storm, as a matter of fact, especially for this time of the year. And as cool as weather as we are having here in the southeast, I wasn't quite expecting anything this strong. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not only them. The GFS model is also showing a very strong storm. Canadian model, not so much yet. And if you look at the satellite images, it does not appear, I mean, you can see the rotation and all. It just hasn't started really strengthening yet. Doesn't look that impressive, but we're going to take a look at that. But again, that's showing, let's look at the timestamp in this deal. Started today, 15th, 16th, 19th, and the 20th. By the 20th, it's already made its impact through Florida and headed towards the Bahamas. Again, it looks like Grand Cayman's going to get it, and Cuba here. And notice how quickly it strengthens. So it's not going to be strengthening as it gets through here. Maybe a little bit, but it's already going to be pretty strong. And guys, I think it was Helene that really did a lot of damage to Cuba, knocked some buildings down and things like that, and they're recovering. They had massive power outages, all kind of stuff going on. But again, by the 20th, this thing is right on top of Florida. By the 17th, 18th, Cuba, you're going to be under the gun. Now, the global forecast system. Really intense. Look how dark it's getting. You can see that it's very low in barometric pressure. The chart's on the right. Comes up a little further north, guys, south of the Tampa area, across possibly the Lake Okeechobee area, right in there. Watch. Again, the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. It's on top of you. Now, we know this thing is going to change left and right as we go through this process, but we're seeing an opening in the high pressure. Notice as the storm moves up through here. Watch it. Right there. Everything's turning green, wide open, this thing. And that concerns me because it could move further to the left. Nobody needs it right now. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I'm concerned with this particular plot because of the opening, again, in this high pressure, right through there. Anyway, it's late in the year, guys. I know, and it's not good news, and nobody wants to hear it, but that's what we're dealing with. Let's take a quick look at the satellite images, and then I've got some information that 3 of our warships were attacked. I believe early this morning it was on the 12th in the Middle East. 1 aircraft carrier, the Abraham Lincoln, and 2 other destroyers or something. We'll read the article, but I did see part of that. We'll check it out. Now, this is going back a few hours, and we're looking at the infrared images. You can see it's starting to strengthen now. Right there, visible images where you can't see that infrared storm right there in the section. It just has not looked that strong, but it's starting to pull itself together. Just looking at it is now 5:24 p.m. Central Time. And these are the full color natural images as it starts to get sunset. Watch this again. You can see the storms right in this area. You're probably already getting rain along this island chain here, and it's going to be headed, looks like pretty much due west and curving up through western Cuba, then into Florida, either southern Florida or the midsection as far as the models that we have now. So just, again, we're a week out. Make sure you stay on top of this. Now, this update's been out about 6 minutes from the National Hurricane, 6:19 p.m. Eastern, 90% chance of development. It says Central and Western Caribbean Sea. The showers and thunderstorms over the Central Caribbean Sea have become more organized and associated with a broad area of low pressure. Environmental conditions appear conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form within the next couple of days while the system moves slowly westward into the Western Caribbean Sea. says afterward further development is likely while the disturbance meanders over the western Caribbean Sea through the weekend. The system is forecast to begin moving slowly northwestward by early next week. Let me move that up. Interests across the western and northwestern Caribbean Sea should monitor the progress of the system regardless of development. It says heavy rains are expected over Jamaica and portions of Haiti during the next day or so. So keep an eye on that, guys. If you see that it's very close to the island, starting to wrap up under them here, and that's going to put a lot of moisture your way. Now, to the problem in the Navy, guys, right now, they've got aircraft carrier here, Abraham Lincoln, was attacked, full-fledged attack. They're not reporting it as far as the U.S. command. They did put out from CENTCOM a video showing it had already gotten dark in Saudi Arabia area, and the U.S. Abraham Lincoln was launching quite a few jets off that deck of that ship. And they're saying that they were successful in all three attacks. It took about 8 hours. Now, this is the message that was sent out, again, November the 12th. Today, Yemeni armed forces. It says, in retaliation to the American-British aggression against our country and in continuation of triumphing for the Palestinian and Lebanese people, they wanted to end the attacks there in Gaza, especially, and in Lebanon. It says the first operation targeted the American aircraft carrier Abraham, but it's the Abraham Lincoln, located in the Arabian Sea with a number of cruise missiles and drones while the American enemy was preparing to carry out a hostile operation targeting our country. The operation has successfully achieved its objectives and led to thwarting the operation that the American enemy was preparing to, again, launch against the country. The other operation targeted 2 American destroyers in the Red Sea with a number of ballistic missiles and drones. The operation was successfully achieved. It did successfully achieve its objectives. The 2 operations took 8 hours in a row. Accordingly, the Yemeni armed forces hold the American and British enemy responsible for turning the Red Sea region into a zone of military tension and its repercussions on maritime navigation. Now, guys, the concerning part here is, of course, we've got our troops are in danger. But right now, it seems a really bad time to be doing this. Are they trying to push some type of massive event that would cause military intervention or martial law? That's very concerning. It continues saying, launching an aggression against Yemen within the American-British defensive actions of the Israeli enemy by the American warships will only push the Yemeni armed forces to further use their legitimate right to defend, confront, and strike all hostile threats in the Red and Arab Seas and in any other region that Yemeni weapons can reach. And I don't know if there's maybe some pretty higher up backings here from some other nations. The operations of the Yemeni armed forces will not stop until the aggression on Gaza is stopped, the siege is lifted, and the aggression on Lebanon is stopped. And www.sabi.ye. Again, this is from the Yemeni armed forces. Guys, this is a bad time to escalate this, like I said. Why now? Except we do have a battle. And we won the president. We won the Senate and the House, guys. It's a trifecta win. Right now, there's a battle over who's going to lead who. They're going to push McConnell out, or there's 2, I think, Thurn and another one that are real big war hawks trying to get in there. And we hope that doesn't happen. Tim Scott from Florida is more pro-conservative than either one of them, and I think he's kind of really tied up or aligned with, the administration and the agenda of the Trump administration. Now, guys, the military has not really added a response, but they did post this from U.S. CENTCOM last night on the 12th there. Again, it looks like the same aircraft, but it's multiple aircraft. I don't know if this starts repeating itself again, but they were taking off during this, or maybe they saw the incoming coming in. It's hard to say, but that was the only reply, was that video at that time that we've heard about. So I'm not releasing anything that's classified here, but guys, we're in perilous times right now. You sink a destroyer, a couple of destroyers, an aircraft carrier and a couple of destroyers. I really don't know what the response would be by the U.S., but it would be something that would really, some of our war pigs in the swamp would love, because they're basically funded by, you know who builds the weapons, right? Well, we're watching this, guys, very closely. There's a lot of close races that some have been cheated over in Arizona. A lot of late ballots come in again. Now, let me say this. The difference between 4 years ago and now was, we saw what happened, right? We don't even have to talk about that. But the opposition was in power for 4 years. You could really, they struck down every complaint, imprisoned people for complaining, all of that. This time, the American people were aware what was going to happen. We knew that the cheat was in, the fix would try to be there, but it was just so overwhelming in most areas that they couldn't get away with it. But the key thing is now, this 4 years, they're not in power for the Republicans to go in like they're saying, and I'm seeing more and more articles about it, and clean the swamp, getting rid of thousands and thousands of people and putting in a lot of good people. Now, only thing I don't like is Kristi Noem being nominated in one of the positions in the cabinet, because she's the one that didn't like what her puppy was doing and shot him. Remember that? And someone like that, to me, is dangerous. I wouldn't trust them with any position. Just saying. So I'm no for Noam. That's my hashtag right now. But the other ones seem to be pretty okay. I think Huckabee got the ambassador to Israel, the dad, not Sarah, but her dad, and a lot of good picks, especially our military, some good people being picked in there for national security. You've probably seen that. We'll do an update on that tomorrow, guys, seeing what's going to happen. Again, right now, there's going to be a battle over who's, I think, going to run the Senate. We'll see. Heads up, be safe.